Hello, everyone. I'm Allison, and welcome to my weekly meltdown. Been around for 8 years now, not going anywhere, still thriving. Didn't get any help to build this channel. Did it all my own, and I'm not a fucking sellout. Coverage of Survivor 44, episode 9. God, that felt good. Hello, everyone in the chat. Kylan, Heather, Jean, Linda. It's been a day. It's been a day. I've been looking up multiple definitions of the word bitch today, but I'm not going to share that with everyone. I've had a bad day, but it's better now. It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah. And, at least Jamie still has her idol.
No, she doesn't.
Jamie still has her idol.
Not
I know,
anymore.
Right? Like, no, I know. I'm just like that confessional was so hilarious to me.
It was
like,
so unhinged.
It was
idol.
And then they keep the camera on her, right? And then her name card appears, like no advantages or anything, and then it says one fake idol, and I'm like, damn, editors got her good tonight.
Well, I'm dying laughing because like the only time she ever gets on camera is when she's like, I still have my idol, or I'm the best person socially, or whatever. So
yeah. And Jeff's like, sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan.
Jeff would have, I don't know, Jeff didn't get on my nerves tonight, shockingly. Even during the immunity challenge, he kept talking when it was just Danny and Franny.
About what?
And I was just like, I'm here for it. Go for it, Jeff. Because knowing you guys, two of you both know, if the two of you were up there like that, I would be pacing like a freaking drill sergeant. This would be Full Metal Jacket. Okay. And I would be saying some shit.
I'm not going to lie. I think I could have done really well in this challenge, even with the rain.
I think I could have too.
I have really good balance.
Girl,
there's no reason for me to have the balance I do. But I'm pretty good. I train, and by train, I don't really train. But what I do is about once a day, I close my eyes. And because if you don't have your eyes open, balancing on one leg is really hard. And I literally see how long I could do it for before I stumble. And I've gotten up to like 20 seconds, which I think is pretty damn good.
When I come to New York, we're having a freaking balance
I'll fucking do it right now.
I can't do it right now because I stepped on a freaking toddler.
I'll do it with you, Beth.
Okay.
Choose
whichever leg that you want. Doesn't have to be.
But you can't prove that you're really doing it. And look, my trust issues are empty right now.
Listen, that ain't my fault.
I mean, full. Right.
Okay,
take that.
Ready?
Yep.
Oh, here we go.
I
want to see a foot, Beth.
Do you want to put your leg up first and then close your eyes, or do you want to close your eyes and then lift your leg?
I'll leave it up to you.
Let's lift our leg and then close our eyes. Okay.
Oh, Lord, help me,
all
Jesus.
Right. 1, 2, 3. Close.
Allison's got to give the play-by-play here. Allison, why don't you say hi to everybody in the chat?
I'm playing music.
Oh, I fell.
Oh, I won?
Yeah, you did. You should have seen me, bitch. I was over here. I came back over here. Actually, I want to do this again. But this time I'm going to
everyone in the chat.
I'm split on top of my other.
Thomas, Matt, everybody, Linda's in there. Hey guys, we're having a balance. I stepped on something earlier today. I think it was my pride and my feelings and a Lego. Not in that order.
Stepping on Legos is like the worst thing ever.
Have you ever stepped on a toddler Lego? That thing's the size of a small animal. It's not little. Oh, I think I'm getting laryngitis. I should have canceled 5 minutes before the show. Huh?
Are you doing okay?
No, I'm making a pun on the country singer that canceled the concert 5 minutes because he lost his voice. When we all know, wink, wink, what was really going on. He
had a dick in his throat.
Probably a dick and a drink, which is hard to do. Not that I would know that.
I would say that Tyler and I'm just breezing past that. Tyler and I would not be up to date on what's going on in the country world.
No, you are in the wrong audience here.
I don't either. It was on the Facebooks and the interwebs, and it was on the Today Show. And if Hoda's talking about it, I'm listening. I'm listening.
All right. I should update that. Tyler and I don't understand what's going on Facebook. No. Good morning, America.
Boomerland. Yeah, exactly.
We're not up to date with boomer culture.
No, definitely not.
Don't even get. I'm working on my little daily lunch with Allison News show, so
listen,
I can't wait
for it. Beth and I had an idea for a show as well. We'll like talk about that off air, but
I have like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I have like multiple ideas, but I think there's two that I've come up with that I've definitely shared with Tyler and you, Allison. But I think that
big things coming here in my weekly meltdown, no matter.
Also, time out. We haven't congratulated Julie Chen Moonves on her God book that came out. Oh my gosh.
What?
She has a memoir about her journey of finding God and what that has done for her and her transformation. And she just wants to share the good word with you all.
I'll pass.
What in God's green earth?
Yeah, Julie, you haven't lived and found Jesus until you've been kicked out of a Jesus group.
Mm-hmm.
That is the most Christ-like thing you can do, is be kicked out of a Jesus group. That's literally what happened to Jesus.
I've been kicked out of a Jesus chat. I got kicked out of a Jesus chat for defending the LGBTQ community. And I don't take back a second of it. I don't care.
I reiterate what I said. That is the most Christ-like thing you could have done. Care for people who are considered quote unquote outcasts of society. Show them unconditional love in the way that God and Jesus would want you to, and then be like literally ostracized from the group for doing so.
Yeah,
the only difference here is, to my knowledge, you were not, tortured and then put on a cross, died, came back 3 days later, but we're still awaiting that. We'll see.
No, but I felt Jesus. I was like, you know what, dude, I got you. I feel you right now. Like, you're sitting here, you're trying to give a testimony and then really preach and bring people down from their pedestals and really level out. And, sometimes you have to dumb yourself down and to really get through to certain kinds of people. And, I'm not going to make inappropriate jokes, and I'm not going to be fake, and I don't think something's right, I'm going to say it. I don't care if it's in a church, if it's in a bar, if it's in a Walmart. We lost what's that guy, Harry Belafonte yesterday. And he was an amazing leader, and we are lacking, he was an amazing man, and we are lacking people with true wisdom and knowledge in this country. And they just keep dying off, and we're left with other people in his place that I could just care less about. And I'm talking about black, white, I don't care, everybody. We don't have good leaders, in my opinion, right now. Yep. And I think that it just is sad and just angers me a little bit. It's been a long day. Did I mention that? It's been a long, deep, I feel like today is Allison day.
Today is like existential crisis day through the lens of Survivor.
Yes.
And so we have to shout this out. My favorite moment was when Jeff literally went, "Wow!" He literally did that.
He's like, "I have the best seat in the house."
Wow! And
You've had that seat for 22 years.
Good
Jeff, bro.
Lord.
Bro. Also, can we talk about that he wants to make this a kids show? He said that when he's making production decisions, he's thinking through the lens of a child watching the show. Let me tell you something, Jeff. I'm going to turn into my Allison moment here. I was that child watching the show, and I preferred when people had social strategy. That's why I started watching it at the age of friggin' 11.
Exactly. That's the right answer. That's how you create a super fan that's obsessed 44 seasons later.
I am now 34 effing years old. I would be considered one of the olds on the tribe, because you don't diversify your age gaps anymore. And I would be considered old school because I want to actually strategize and not have everything through. I am quickly losing my modern Survivor apologist status here. And I still think that there's a lot that I really like. And I'm
welcome to the dark side.
Loving the show. I just like to come on here and bitch because I have a microphone in front of my face.
Exactly.
Welcome to my life. I'm twice the age I was when the show started. 23 years ago, I was 23, and now I'm 46. So I've literally been watching this show. Would you say
That's cool.
half
Half of your life? Yeah.
half, almost half? I don't know.
Wow.
My
Wait,
entire
Jeff, wow.
20s, 30s, the
Wow.
beginning. Think about that. My
Yeah.
entire 20s outside of 3 years, all of my 30s, and now halfway past point of my mid 40s. God. Ugh. I haven't said that yet. And I'm a grandma.
Well, Tyler. So when did you start watching, Tyler?
I started watching during Survivor Australia. So I was literally in like 5th grade, like watching
So
it
you
with
were
my
like 10.
parents. Yeah.
Actually, you
yeah,
have
yeah.
a late birthday, so you were 9.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So let's put this all together, okay? Tyler and I had our entire formative years with Old School Survivor.
With
Yeah.
Jeff
We
Brooks.
were
That explains
raised
a lot.
by Sassy Jeff, okay?
Mhm.
We were raised by that. I then went to college and I skipped out in a few years. Whoops. Okay. Then anyway, all 20s and now halfway through my 30s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My 30s, Jeff, bro, I've been raised on this show. Let me just tell you, I prefer the things that allow character and social gameplay and social experiment. This is no longer a survival show. This is no longer a social strategy show. Although tonight, in this episode, in my opinion, was the most social strategy that we've had the entire season.
That's what I was gonna say, Beth. Is I don't know if this is a hot take, but I thought this was easily the best episode of the entire season. We not only was it like very twist, like not heavy at all, and yet we still got like an idol find, right? It's not like there weren't advantages like being introduced into
my courier just left the Just Salad place.
Oh,
sending thoughts and prayers.
So sorry to interrupt. This was huge news to Allison and Tyler. I've been waiting. I put in my order at 7:06
it's 9:18
for a salad at a place called Just Salad.
I mean, what does it take? What kind of salad? Did they have to go get a special kind of leaf?
Well, I made the mistake. Today I said crispy chicken on my salad. So they must have gone and sacrificed a chicken and then just did the whole damn cooking of it.
There's only certain chickens that you can eat crispy. I don't know where that went.
I don't know what that means.
So yeah,
let's see what that means.
Some crispy
but I'll finish my thought here. I thought this was the best episode of the season because like it wasn't like all these crazy stupid twists, even though we still got an idol find. So like we still had like advantages like happening in the game, right? But God, we had like a whole like it felt like a 10-minute segment, right? Of like the entire merge tribe just like sitting, hanging out, shooting the shit. We got this beautiful segment from Carolyn about her sobriety, which we'll like get into more. But then also like a really complicated 3-3-3 like split between like the tribes heading into this final 9. So like the vote itself was very exciting too. But what was exciting about that wasn't anything fabricated by like crazy twists or like results of like the stupid Summit Island bullshit or whatever. It was just the dynamics of the 3 tribes and who was left, and it felt like everybody was so important tonight, and that's what I loved about this episode. So more of that, please.
I think just generally the merge has been really good for this season.
It's been a good merge.
We've had mostly social strategy and interesting votes and that kind of thing. Even if we kind of know what's going to happen, how they come about, I think has been interesting. And I'm thankful that we went back to, okay, we're just going to have a normal idol that just gets hit out and that kind of thing. Like that was fine. I was fine with Heidi finding idol. And as Jamie's screaming, I still have my idol.
Can we address that for a minute? Because I was losing my ever-loving what's left of my mind when she's sitting there screaming that. I'm like, there is no one within earshot of this shit, is there? I mean, they are somewhere around there. Do they get on the boat and go to another effing island? Because you would have to be not in Fiji. Okay? You would
She's
hear
the
that.
Johnny Mac of Survivor.
Oh my God.
That would be my biggest
loud.
fear. That would be my
So loud.
biggest fear. Also, shout out to Heidi. I know this is like absolutely not what we were just talking about, but the way she just so smoothly put it in her pocket and continued moving on as if like she didn't have like a kind of reaction. Like so many times people will go like or something like that. She just literally was like,
that is exactly what I would do whenever I come across it. Like I'm very, I know it's crazy, but that's what I'd be like. And I wouldn't mention. I'd be like, you wouldn't get. I'd be Fort Knox. You wouldn't get anything out of me. Nobody would know I had that. Nobody.
Yeah, and I loved the juxtaposition, right, of like Danny like panicking, like getting like multiple shots of him like looking through all the bushes in like a big panic, and Heidi is like the longer this game goes on, the more I'm finding that Heidi is like this like quiet, confident baller in this game, and I absolutely loved it. So I loved like her just like exactly like you said, Beth, just like, oh, got it, cool. Meanwhile, like Danny's whole game is just like unraveling so much. And like just to speak about Danny a little bit more, like I love that he lost head to head against another woman tonight for the immunity.
Not another woman, the same woman.
I thought it was Lauren last week that he lost it to, right?
Oh, well, I was thinking with Brandon versus Franny. That's right.
Oh, right,
and the other one. That's on me. But you're 1,000% right. I love it.
Yeah, it was great. So I guess like we can kind of like go through I have like my notes and stuff like that.
Of course you do.
How are we feeling about Carson? Like, are we still worried about like a medevac situation for him?
No.
Or, like,
what's with you in this medevac with him?
I feel like his edit has really turned into like Jam Jam carrying like the bulk of the strategy between like conversations that they have together. And anytime we hear from Carson now, it's really just like, I'm not feeling well. I'm very fatigued. Like, I don't know.
I will say that, yeah, I agree with Henning in the chat. Carson got fed. He's fine now. He got rice. It's like literally he got the brat diet, just the raw part of it. So he's going to be fine. I don't worry about a medevac. Can we just take a moment and in this merge, has Carson done anything to suggest he's a super strong, savvy player? I mean, he did some things in the pre-merge, but I think we're playing into his nerdism too much. I think we're giving him almost like a privilege by being like, oh, well, clearly he's savvy. He wears glasses, and I really don't see him any different in terms of strategy, in terms of like what Kane was bringing to Ratu. I think that he's giving the same level of that to Tika. I think Jam Jam and Carolyn are much more strategic, and he's just caught in the middle of, do I go with Carolyn or do I go with Jam Jam? Tonight, Carolyn went on her own, and he went with Jam Jam.
I definitely feel that like between the three.
Oh my God, it's here.
I definitely feel that like between the
food.
Her food, yes. I definitely feel that like between the three Tika members, Carson is the one that like plays like Fancy Fencerton the most between like the orange and the green tribe. So I feel like he's not like I think that in his mind he thinks that he's this like strategic powerhouse that's like playing this like mighty middle like very masterfully. But I feel like out of like Jam Jam, Carolyn and Carson, like if all three of them were at the end, I feel like they're gonna come down on Carson like being the most like playing like the middle and like not committing to a side or not like we saw Carolyn tonight like putting her foot down saying like no, like Danny's like the bigger threat, right? We saw Jam Jam putting his foot down saying like no, like Kane voted me out of this game. And I feel like we're not getting any like reason or purpose from Carson except for like, yeah, let's just keep playing the middle. Like, let's just like, I feel like that's a very like passive game, and it's not going to win you the $1 million if you don't have like any like, I don't know, any kind of like sternness about like who goes home, right? Like you need to be the one that's like making the decision. So people know at the end of the game, like that is a decision that he made and made happen like within the tribe. I think Beth's totally right. Like what has he like decided so far in this game?
I think that Carson is still there because he's so weak and he's not doing anything, and it's easier to keep someone like that around to say they haven't done anything but lounge and lay around. Is this person really going to beat me in a final anything? So I don't think he really has to do anything to stay in the game right now because he's being so vocal about how weak he is. One person could go, oh, it's just an act. But then again, no, it's not. I mean, even seeing it through the lens of the TV, it's legit. But I really don't know. He's a good vote for Carolyn and Jam Jam right now. I mean, he's hopefully that 3, Kane is gone, so his Lord of the Rings, Star Wars Jedi friend is gone. So what is he going to do? How are things going to go? I really enjoyed Danny just saying, it's rice. Okay. You can go 30 days without eating. How many times have I said that on this show and been rammed up the derriere dry? Numerous times. When I was doing this show by myself, I had people just ring me over the coals because, well, you've never played either. You don't know what you're capable of in 30 days. You can snack on some leaves or something, I'm sure. But, you're going to do what you're going to do for $1 million. None of us know what we're going to do until we're in that situation. But at the same time, he's right. I can't disagree with Danny. The only person that really, in my opinion, needed the rice was Carson.
Yep.
I mean, what were they going to do if all 4 people didn't volunteer? Then it was null and void, and everyone had to do it. Is that how it works?
Yeah, and right, exactly. Like if Jeff cannot get 4 people to give up their chance at immunity, no rice, like no deal. And I really enjoyed that. Like this, I feel like that this like negotiation came at like the perfect time this season. Like usually at this point in the game, like when Jeff like does like the whole rice negotiation thing, I feel like there's a pretty strong majority. Like you know who's on the outs. Like I feel like there's a clear pecking order, so it makes sense like who's able to sit out, right? It was cool to see some discourse between Danny and Lauren, saying like, hell no, like I'm not giving up my spot. And then like Carson's like, no, please, like I need like food. Like it was cool to see like the arguments back and forth and like actual like chatter and I don't know. It was cool. I liked it. Very happy.
One thing I do want to say though, that I think the reason why we got so much character development this time is because the challenge went so quickly. I mean, you heard Jeff say that, like, yeah. I don't think they even got to 10 minutes. So when they don't have a lot to show, the max they can show is 10 minutes, which oftentimes that's how long the challenge is anyway. And they're going to edit it down. I really think that it was amazing. And I would encourage them to try to find challenges that, even though the weather was a factor here, try to find challenges that don't necessarily last all the time, because we end up having episodes about the challenge. And as we've seen, especially with so many different kinds of advantages and such, and with 3 tribes and all that stuff, it's like immunity has not been a factor half the time of like who's going home or whatever. It's just like, okay, well, if that person wins immunity, then we'll do this one. Yeah. Like, so what's the point of it now? Why are we going to spend half an episode on this? Although now Jeff wants to have the jury come and sit and watch tribal or challenges now. So
anything's possible. Don't put anything past Jeff. Wow.
I will also say, like, good for Carolyn for still competing and not sitting out of that challenge, even though she has an idol and even though like it's in her best interest for her teammate, like her buddy in crime, Carson, to be like in better like physical condition and stuff like that. Carolyn is here to play this game, and she is I admire how independent she is, and I really loved that Franny said that in confessional. Like she said, like I admire Carolyn so much and how like authentic she is, and like I know I get in my head a lot, but like I would love to grow up to be the type of woman that Carolyn is. I thought that was a really cool, sweet moment there.
I think it's also like, just from I don't even know, you're definitely more of an educ person than I am, but I think that it's a little scary for me that Carolyn gets this whole story now. And it tells me, I think that she might go before the final 4. Maybe she's like the 5th, like place person.
It feels very like robbed goddess, like the Kelly Wentworth slot in Survivor Cambodia. You know, like somebody that plays like a hell of a run the entire game, and like you have like every reason in the world to root for them, but like they come up like just like so short, right? So I agree with that, Beth. It was a very long segment. Allison, I know you wanted to like talk about that segment a little bit more, but like the whole like Carolyn like sobriety thing.
Oh yeah, it was nice to see someone else in the room talking about it. Because like I told you on the chat, I'm always the alkie in the group. I'm always the addict in the group. It's never anyone else. It's always me. But hearing her story, I really, I'm 6.5 years sober myself. My clock got restarted on November 18th, 2017, because I made the stupid executive decision to sip some champagne at a wedding and screwed up a good, run. So, but her talking about the life she has now, and her son and her husband, are proud of themselves because they're both in recovery, and their son will never know that person. I think about my grandson, who will be 18 months next week, a year and a half, and he has never known a drunk grandma. He's never known that person that I, used to be. And it makes me very proud to know that if there's anyone on this planet that's really knows this will know this person and only know this person, it starts with him, with little Spider-Man Jr. So, and that makes me happy. And, it does take a lot to drink. It's a hassle. It is more than people realize. It's so we're going out. Where are we going? Are we going somewhere that serves alcohol? I need to know, because I need to know if I need to pregame at home. I need to know if I need to shove some stuff in my purse. Like your brain, you've got to have that out. You've got to have that. You've got to have it. It all
like revolves around that.
It revolves around it. Like I and that adrenaline and that of I'm drinking when I get home, and that is a high that just is, and it takes a lot to come out like she has and be confident in who she is and be able to say and do and be confident, because a lot of us hide behind the alcohol to be confident, to have courage, and to have confident and be have courage without liquid courage. To me is an amazing thing. The fact that I can handle stress and go through the things that I've been through as of late in the last couple of years, and I didn't even think one time about alcohol or doing anything. It just shows growth, because I've had this on and off again relationship with sobriety that started when I went in rehab in 2011, and it stuck for a while. And then you dip your toe in, because you think you can swim without the floaties. Allison, you can only doggy paddle. You got no business in the big boy pool, in the big kid pool. Just stop. And there just comes a time where you just got to go, And some people go, well, your son, he knew that person. What is the difference? I'm an example for my son. He sees how people can evolve and really can change and can become better people. And I own my shit. I don't blame it on my childhood. I don't blame it on PTSD. I don't blame it on a bunch of shit that happened to me. I made the decision to drink. It is a disease. I came across it, honestly, in my family tree. Good God, how they, but for me, I had plenty of opportunities to stop. I made the decision not to. I made the decision to hurt people. I had every opportunity to stop. I had been in rehab. I made that decision. I hurt the people I loved. I hurt my son. I hurt my family. I did some god-awful things to people, but I have changed and I have made amends. And part of making amends is saying I'm sorry and not expecting anything back. You don't ask questions if you're not prepared to hear the answer, is my best life advice. If you're not prepared to extend an olive branch and say, I'm sorry for hurting you, because you think I'm going to get, if you don't get an I'm sorry and you're going to get upset, don't apologize, because that's not a real apology, in my opinion. You're making amends to be a better person, to move on, knowing what you've done is right and you can move on. And I'm sorry I'm long-winded and I'm going on and on.
No, this is important.
But
Yeah.
don't ever think that you're a bad parent, you're a bad mom or dad, you're a bad uncle, you're a bad grandparent, you're a bad friend. You have a disease, you have an addiction. And I batted hands away that wanted to help me, and I regret it. But hey, that had to happen for me to do this. It had to happen for me to be an outstanding grandmother. It happened for me to have the amazing relationship that I have with my son now. My son has his issues and I have my issues, but we help each other. I see things from his point of view and now a little bit better because we both are sober enough to speak to each other and talk and have these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So you are not defined by your addiction. You are not your addiction. Okay. It is okay. If you're sober for 6.5 years, you're sober for 13 years and you slip up and you have to rewind the clock. It's okay. You're not perfect. It's one day at a time. Be proud of yourself be just as proud of yourself on day 1 as you are on day 500.
Mm-hmm.
Because a Friday and Saturday night will tear you up without a drink. You will climb the fucking walls on a Friday and Saturday night more than you ever have in your life. You get through that first weekend, you're going to get through that second weekend. By God, you'll get through the third and the fourth. And that's when the confidence comes in. It's just having the patience and the discipline to do it. And you will fail at first. Trust me, you will. But that is okay. Why do we fail? Can you answer that?
Because we're flawed humans.
Right. We fail so we can, you fall so you can pick yourself back up.
Yeah.
And this belief that we're all perfect is ridiculous. Nobody's perfect. We all fuck up. We all make mistakes. We've all done horribly heinous things. We're human beings. And, there are people that I made amends with that said, Allison, I'm happy for you that you are able to go on with your life and be a better person, but you hurt me so deeply. I'm not buying what you're selling. And I don't forgive you. And that's okay. That's their journey and their choice. I know who I am now and I know what I'm doing. If you want to stay associated with Allison 2013, you want to stay associated with Allison 2007, then do that. That's okay. I'm not going to fight you on it, but you're missing out on Allison 2023. And
Amen,
she's a lot of fun.
She's not
she is. Also, you said all of us do really heinous things, and then Tyler did like this little smirk that made me think, did he just rip a heinous fart? Is that what he just did?
I'm pretty sure he would fart in the middle of my speech. But like I said, I'm happy to see someone else telling a story that I can relate to. I think it's good for people to see. Carolyn said it best. Addiction does not discriminate. It doesn't care where you came from, what your background is. It doesn't care. The stigma that alcoholics and addicts look at me. I'm not trying to. When people hear that I am an alcoholic, there's what? You? Yes, me. Why not me? Yes.
Also, addicts have a really good mask. And so the people that you don't expect half the time are the people who are going to defy what you think an addict looks like. And this goes for everything. And this is a quick aside. I know it has nothing to do with Survivor, Carolyn, or Allison, but there's a famous drag queen everybody loves. Her name is Katya. And we watched her on All Stars 2. And Katya was a meth addict and has the most perfect teeth and had this incredible body and like all these other things. And she's been like, I don't look like a meth addict. Everything that you hear about meth is that it rots your teeth. And she has like the most beautiful, straight, white teeth, perfect teeth. And she was like, I don't look like that. And I think that when we stop the stigma of things that are diseases and disabilities in their own way, and we start providing care and compassion and support for people, then we can give them the tools to feel like they can reach their own goals. Okay. Mm-hmm. And have that confidence and have that self-love to make those changes. And sometimes that journey, and it's not sometimes, every time, that is a journey that you're going to go through until the day you pass. I don't consider addiction any different except for maybe the way it impacts other people than having any other disease.
Mm-hmm.
My family has obesity, and it's in our genetic, line, and that has a lot of food that's related to maybe food addictions and those kind of things, right? In my opinion, that's no different than somebody who's choosing to use any other substances to fill a gap that they don't have in either a quality or something that they need in their life.
And, if someone out there, if you are an addict and you're struggling and there's a person out there that's triggering you and pushing you and you feel like, fuck them, just fuck them. These people are not worried about you. They're not thinking about you. When you let go of that excess baggage, it makes all the sense in the world. Because when you are practicing what you preach in sobriety, you got to cut those people out. Trust me, I tried not doing that. And I got put down. I got told I thought my shit didn't stink. I got called to be a designated driver I don't know how many times, but I was good enough for that. And I really feel like the last 6.5 years is just, I passed upon Beth when I was in New York, when she and I were waiting on my plane in her apartment. Girl, did I not show you old My Weekly Meltdown videos? Did I not look the blood? I had the alcohol bloat. It was bad. I was blind functioning during a couple of those videos. I don't know how I edited and put anything together because I'm a functioning fucking alcoholic. That's how, Allison. Okay, sorry, I forgot. It's been a minute.
But I think that just like so many other diseases, mental health wise, you can be a functioning depressed person, functioning anxious person, a functioning addict, a functioning all these things. But what they all inherently have in common is that it's okay to seek help. And we all, as a society, as friends, as family members, as coworkers and colleagues, peers, we need to be providing a support so that people seek the help that they need. And plot twist, we all need help.
Yeah,
something.
And I'm glad that Survivor shared Carolyn's story tonight, right? Because representation does matter for all of these different types of battles that people are facing, right? And I feel like addiction is, I feel like it's like when you think of an addict, I feel like you think of a man before a woman. So it's even better to have female representation for that. Does that make sense, Allison? Yeah. I don't know if that's I would love to see stats on that, but I feel women who are addicts don't have as much exposure or representation in media.
Women are supposed to be addicts. And I also want to give a shout out to the children and partners and family members of people who have addicts in their lives and who have witnessed the evolution and stuck by them. Kudos to you that that you were not the problem. You are not the problem. I'm the problem. They're the problem. You are not the problem. And I know that's easier said than done. And if you're having an issue and you need to reach out to someone because you are lost and you're at the hands of someone who is abusive or is in the throes of an addiction, you can call American Addiction Centers Project. Actually, you can go to projectno.com or you can get help at 877-956-2685. This is just something I
can we put this in the show notes, in both the podcast notes and in the description for the YouTube video?
Yeah, you got it.
There's a number you can definitely call. I will, and this is for people. You can call this number. I'm going to put it in there right now. You can call this number right now if you are an addict or if you're someone that's living with an addict or experiencing shit that you don't want. It's hard. And projectno.com. But those are the unsung heroes sometimes that don't get the props that they do. So I want to make it a point to let people know that we see you too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, let's beautiful words, Allison. I just wanted you to to have that moment because I feel like Carolyn is your like survivor spirit animal out there. Like you and I said last week that like I could so see you and I being like Carolyn and Carson in that like net challenge thing last week. So
human centipede.
Yes, but okay. So how do we feel about like the ultimate decision tonight being Kane? I think it makes a lot of sense, and I will say Heidi was the first one to throw out his name. So like once again, like she is just like really doing a great job, like making the moves and like maneuvering like when she needs to, but making sure she's not like she's not like a vocal idiot like Danny. You know what I mean? Like she's a very like stealthy.
What I think is interesting is that without Matt in the game, Franny has no say in what's going on. She just has to go with what the Soka people are saying. Because she tried to flip it and be like, oh no, we should go after Jam Jam.
Yeah.
And Danny shut that down. And you know what? I agree with Danny. I don't know what Franny was thinking in that moment. So I'm happy he shut her down on that. But he didn't, and I will say this, he didn't shut her down. That was rude, like to say that. He did not act like that. I think he acted very respectfully and was just having a good conversation with her. But I will say that it's interesting that Heidi's and Danny, I feel like, have flipped positions. Heidi has much more say, but Danny, I think, still thinks he's like the leader of the three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Do you think that next week Tika is going to flock over to Ratu and take out a Soka person?
Okay, so here's what I think is going to happen. And I'm so glad you brought that conversation up that Franny had with Danny about like being worried about the Tika. Like it's one thing to be thinking far ahead like that, and like that's a sign of a good player, right? But it's not the sign of a good player to like vocalize these like what ifs, right? So that's kind of like where I kind of think that she went wrong. But now that she's said it out loud, I feel like the best move for Franny next week is to get in with the Tika tribe and like formally like jump ship and say like, listen, like I know you guys just took out Kane. He was like an orange tribe. So like realistically, like you're probably going to go for one of the green tribe next. I'm down for Danny if you guys are. Doesn't really matter what Heidi thinks about it because like I'm with you guys and Lauren and Jamie are going to vote out Danny as well instead of like eating their own. So I think that this is Franny saying like I have one foot out the door. I see the writing on the wall and I'm not going to go down with this sinking ship. Like she's identifying that Tika is playing this mighty middle correctly. And it's a little too late for her to do anything about it because even if she does flip over to Tika, she's 4th out of 4, right? Mm-hmm. So like I feel like Franny is gonna try to make a move against Danny next week. Does it play out for him? I don't know because Danny did play that idol on Franny, so like there's a little bit of a complicated like history of like you owe me a little bit.
I don't know if I think it depends on how I said all that stuff about immunity challenges, but I think it depends on what Franny's position is with immunity next week. If she wins immunity again for the 3rd time, I could see her be like, I now have agency to switch and not feel like this could blow up on me and take me out of the game this tribal. And I think that I could see that happen. If she doesn't win immunity, they now have a 3-3-2. And so I think that what ends up happening is we have this shift between Tika and Soka going after each other with Ratu being the swing votes, or they just continue to go, let's just get rid of Ratu and then we can duke it out, just the 3 of us, 3 versus 3. Tika, just edit-wise, I don't see any of the 3 of them going next week.
Yeah.
But I could see one of them go the week after. So I really think who got a lot of votes for it was Jamie got votes tonight for Ratu, right?
Yeah.
So my question is then, if Ratu ends up getting picked off rather than people trying to recruit to work with Jamie and Lauren used her extra vote tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's gone. And the idol was in Kane's pocket, not that it was a real one. So they successfully, like, I actually am feeling really good that Lauren and Jamie are actually in good positions moving into next week. Like, I don't think they're going to just pick them off now.
My issue with that, Beth, is like, do they have the agency to make it happen? Like,
I don't think so. I think what they're going to do is like people are going to have to come to them. And then they're just going to have to decide. I'm not saying that they're going to be like, oh, we're taking over the mighty middle.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to have an active role, but I also don't think like now I think Danny has a magnifying glass on him if he doesn't win immunity. I think if Franny doesn't win I think she'll have a magnifying glass because she's won immunity a couple of times. And then I think that Jam Jam is going to be the number one person out of the Tika people. So my math mind says it's going to be Jam Jam, Danny, or Franny next week.
So, okay. So replace like what I just said about Franny formerly jumping ship. What if it's Heidi that does it instead?
I think it'd be a brilliant move.
Yeah, and like we've seen like a history already of Heidi and Jam Jam like working pretty well together, and having that rapport with one another. Heidi will feel safe to make that jump as well because she has an idol now too. So I don't know, maybe that happens instead. Maybe Heidi says, "All right, like Franny and Danny, y'all can go." And I'm just gonna ride into the sunset with Tika, and then like at that point, like Lauren and Jamie, I don't think are relevant to the rest of the season story. Sorry, Lauren, I know you made that tweet about not having a lot of visibility on the season, but like I just don't think your story is that important that season, or this season. But yeah, I don't know. And that could be like a really so if Heidi makes it to the end, then I could see that being her winning case to the jury. Like I could see her getting like all of the orange and green tribe votes at the end because she could say like, listen, like I saw the writing on the wall and I made the move before any of you guys could. And I'm the last one here. So give me your vote, baby. I guess I'll just keep talking to myself.
I'm sorry. I'm just so hungry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
And I agree with everything you said.
So we eventually saw Kane go home. So I'm going to go ahead and update our draft here. So I lost Kane tonight. So.
Sorry, I had a mini crisis going off on the side here. I had to address really quick. I apologize.
You're good. It's not the first time I've done a show by myself. No.
Oh, I do it all the time.
You do?
Hey, I hopped into your thing last night for a few minutes.
No, I'm joking. I'm just saying, like
Tyler
and I bicker about how we don't listen to each other.
But no, like I think our draft teams are as even as like the playing field is for this season, which I'm really appreciating. So I lost Kane tonight. So for anybody listening on the podcast, here's who left. So Allison has Jam Jam and Lauren. Beth has Carolyn, Heidi, and Jamie. And I have Danny, Carson, and Franny.
Every week I feel better about my team.
Me
every
too.
Week I feel better about your team too, Beth.
It's mostly Heidi.
Every week I feel worse about my team.
Yeah,
is what I'll say.
Yeah.
And Allison right now I feel like has like a narrator and a casualty of editing.
Yeah,
she
has a pilot and a passenger.
Right.
I have the winner. I'm telling you, I have the winner. If I puke and rally at this point and win after this, you know you're never going to hear the end of it, ever.
Listen,
so
after
true.
we got Gaylord last season, I won't be surprised by
I still, to this
I'm sorry.
day, I don't know.
I think the Gabler of this cast will be Jamie. Thank you very much. And if she wins, if she gets the Gabler win, then we have a new queen on the mountain, baby.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? And then like 5 years from now, like Survivor Twitter will be like, Jamie is like low-key one of like the strongest Survivor winners like in history. And I'll be like, really? You think so?
So you're going to say that they're the Natalie White people?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I feel like the revisionist history is like already starting to happen about Erica winning Survivor 41, which, sorry, but I think she's a pretty low tier winner. Stephen Fishback made a tweet that I wanted y'all's opinions about. And then we can kind of wrap up because I don't think there's much to chat about after this. But
what was that?
Was that a whoopee cushion situation?
I thought it was your dog.
No, Sora is right here.
No, Chris popped in to say hi, my husband, with his ass. Oh.
Love that for him. That was not the
back for me.
That was a Danny toot.
Beth said with her little Danny fart.
Okay, so here's Stephen Fishback's like tweet. He said, "Here would be my number one rule change that would make Survivor Tribal Council much better. Every single answer has to include the name of another player. Danny said this to me. Heidi did that. Suddenly, we're out of the realm of abstract metaphors and into actual dynamics." What do we think about that?
I love it.
It is what it is because they're whispering in front of each other anyway. So why don't you just say it out loud, for God's sake? Just do it.
Yeah. And I think that Steven makes a great point here. Like, I feel like Jeff lets people off the hook, like with these tribal council answers, if they just give some like what did Matt say like a few weeks ago? He was like, Survivor's like going skiing and you're going down a slope and then suddenly like it gets too fast and you can't stop and then a tree like whacks you in the face. And I'm like, what is this metaphor? And Jeff, why are you accepting this as an answer?
You know who would be so good at giving the metaphor? This might be lost on the two of you. Ross Matthews from Drag Race.
Yes.
Ross Matthews, every single time he'll be like, you know, when you have that thing that does this and then you start thinking that and then blah, blah, blah. Well, I had that tonight watching your performance. Like that is the Ross, like that's how Ross gives like critiques as a judge. He would just fucking kill it. He's already played Big Brother. Get him out on an island. I would love to see Ross Matthews play Survivor. Could you fucking imagine?
That would be so fun.
It would be. I want to see Celebrity Survivor.
Dude,
I know that the UK has I'm a celebrity, get out of her. He would do that for sure.
No, who would do that besides
I think he
Ross
would.
Matthews? Yeah.
My mind's a blank.
There's a lot of drag queens that want to. So people from other reality shows. I'm sure you could find some fucking idiot from the challenge who wasn't on Survivor ahead of time to come on.
Johnny Bananas.
I would love to see a housewife. I don't even watch that show, but you're telling me fucking Bethany Frankel out on an island?
Mm-hmm.
Horrible.
I'd love to see Rachel Riley or Janelle from Big Brother.
Yeah.
Survivor. Or whatever. I don't know.
Oh my God. Selena Estides. Yeah, she has she auditioned for Survivor and we found her audition tape online this week, which was great. Monet Exchange would love to play. Selena Estides.
Just cast like the entire cast of Flavor of Love on Survivor. And
could you imagine New York?
I would. I'm telling you, Flavor of Love was like peak reality.
I want Flavor. And Jersey Shore. Put Snooki on that freaking island.
Yes. Oh my God.
Could you imagine?
I want the situation on lately. Survivor. I just want Mike the situation. That's and freaking Polly. Polly on one,
God.
And Mike on the other. That's all I care about.
I want Sammy and Ron on one tribe. And it's just
I don't think
them on Exile Island.
Yes, exactly.
Bring back Exile Island.
I love it.
Are we done, bro? Tell me we're done, bro. Are we done, bro?
So are we like done? Are we done, Ron? Are we done? Ron. When Ronnie showed back up on the show with them fake ass veneers a few years ago, the last season he was on after he got out of rehab, they're like, whoa, he got more than sober in there.
Got a whole new set.
My guy.
Oh my God, Carol Baskin, Thomas Cook says in the chat. Dude. Now that we know that her husband was not put inside a tiger.
We know that for sure. Can I have a confirmation? Are we getting?
We do. He's alive.
He's not dead? How do I not know this?
They found him.
Where?
I have no idea.
I've never watched Tiger King, so I know like literally none of this.
I didn't watch it either.
How do I not know that Carol Baskin's is not dead? When did this come out?
Like a month ago.
This is like breaking news for me. Do you see how I am more
literally the number one search thing is Carol Baskin husband alive
than anything else I've heard tonight?
Or this morning.
God, really?
Oh, wait, hold on. This was in January, and they're saying that this might be a she said thing. He vanished in 1997.
Yeah,
she
Joe
told
Exotic.
She says that she believed Homeland Security had been in contact with Lewis. They said, my husband, Don Lewis, is alive and well in Costa Rica. And yet all this drama has been made about me having something to do with the disappearance. But Homeland Security knows where he is.
Have we seen him? Okay, that's coming from Carol.
That's what I'm saying.
See him. I need to physically see the man, because that man is dead. I'm on Joe Exotic. I'm Team Joe Exotic. I don't give a flying flip.
Team Joe.
I'm Team Joe. I was on pins and needles. Kind of I thought Trump would pardon him. I was like, finally, he's going to do something that I can get on board with. He's going to pardon Joe Exotic before he leaves the White House. And he didn't do it.
Well, that must be the only time he hasn't followed through on something he said he would do.
That I can think of off the top of my head tonight during the show.
I could come up with more on the show.
I know. But we ain't got that much time.
That's right. Any other thoughts from this episode?
No.
I don't think so. Like I said, like I really enjoyed the 3-3-3 like split and how that was going to shake out. And I think this final 8 has like just very important people. Like the edit is not made equal this season, of course, but not even close. I would say this is like one of the most lopsided edited seasons I think we've ever seen. But I feel like every player has like stake in the game and matters. And I haven't felt that way about like the previous 3 seasons, you know, like, of course, like Jamie and Lauren, I feel like are like, sorry, but like not as important, or like, I don't think their stakes are like as high as like the other people, but like, I feel like they're more important than like, oh God, like, I don't want to like say, who Heather in Survivor 41?
Yeah,
I need that. You know what I mean? Like those type of players that like make it very far. I don't know why I just thought of this person, but Aurora from Survivor Ghost Island. Oh my gosh! Like people like that like are just.
I always just call her. She's like, damn skinny bitches. I'm like, bitch, you are the skinniest one out there.
But you know what I mean? That like, and it's not always a woman, but like people that
no, it's normally edited as much as that.
Just kind of like I feel like nobody here is like totally irrelevant to.
Well, here's the thing. Last year it would have been Gable. Last season would have been Gable, but then he friggin' won. So I mean, for all we know, Jamie's about to win.
Good Lord.
And I will take that and fucking run with it. I want you guys to know, if Jamie wins this season, I'm gonna always be like, remember when I gave Allison, the former winner and reign holder, Maddie, and I chose Jamie last. I made the last decision in the draft to choose the winner.
Wow.
I will be insufferable if that is the. If Heidi or Carolyn wins, I'll be like, yay, crowner. But I will be insufferable if Jamie wins.
Yeah, I will be too.
I support it.
I will.
We do have a double eviction for Big Brother Canada happening tomorrow, so I will update the draft like for next week here on Survivor for us.
Going home, right?
Literally had to think about what you were saying, Big Brother. I was like, why is he updating the draft for Big Brother? Oh, that Canada's show.
Can we bring that up really quickly, actually?
Yeah, let me bring it up. I haven't updated it, but so since we last did this, Hope is gone. Allison's first pick. And so Allison's second pick will be leaving first in the double eviction.
Allison's going to be out tomorrow.
Yep. And
both my people?
Yeah. Hope's already gone, and Kuzi's going to be going home tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you're racist?
No, Kuzi chose $1,000 over winning a POV. So.
Oh, I take that back.
Yep. And it's a shame because she's played like a very masterful game up to this point. So it's a bummer. But so we're not sure like who will be the second person to leave in the double, but the outgoing head of household is Renee. So she is the only person that won't be able to compete in that HOH for the second round of the double. So we'll see. I think it's leaning towards Claudia will be the person to go. I was listening to Taryn's update today. And it seems like people are coalescing around like Claudia being the next one to go.
If
But I
Ty
could be
doesn't
totally
win
wrong.
veto or HOH though, and he gets backdoored, do you think that's a
Yes.
possibility?
For sure, because Ty has been immune for the past like 4 rounds from like one comp win or another.
Yeah.
So I think if Ty's vulnerable, they'll take the shot at him.
Yeah.
The shot.
I'm telling you, Shanae's winning this thing. She's like she
Okay,
is.
last time
talk
you said
about irrelevant.
you said Daniel Acuzzi, so
But I have to root for my first pick. But I'll say, like, talk about an irrelevant player in the season. Shania has done like literally nothing. So
I might actually try to watch an episode.
I think it'll be good on a binge. Like
Yeah.
I'm curious to, and it's been. I will say it has been fun to
Just enjoy
not watch any of the episodes. Like not like checking out like Twitter updates or anything, but just listening to Taryn's updates and the LFC roundtable. And that's like literally my only exposure to the season at all. It's been fun to consume a season that way, because I don't think I will again, because like we'll be watching Big Brother US and they're talking about bringing feeds back for BB Can next year.
Well, if Big Brother US bottoms out, I'm not going to finish the season.
There is going to be a BB Can next year? I think
I don't know.
I think it's going to get canceled.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Really?
BB Can, yeah.
Yeah.
Their viewership is so low. It's not
I
even
think they'll return it back to the original format one more time.
I hope so.
They have to.
Well,
'cause this is shit. It's sheer shit.
It is shit.
It just should be called Brother.
It should be called
Or
Canada.
Big.
Brother
Big.
Canada.
Oh,
Just
brother.
Big
Oh, Canada.
Big Canada.
Oh,
Brother.
Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Yes, I love it. All
I'm
right,
not
well-
your brother, friend. I'm not your friend, pal. I'm not your. Do you guys know that?
No.
It's from
It's
South
a
Park.
TikTok sound, right?
No, it's from South
Oh,
Park.
Chris knows that. He
Um,
knows South Park.
Where the Canadians, they'll be like, I'm not your buddy, pal. I'm not your pal, friend. I'm not your friend, chief. I'm not your chief, buddy. They just do that
Oh,
over
yeah.
and over. Yeah.
All
Big
right,
Canada.
well-
I like that, Thomas.
Yes, love it. Thank you guys for joining us in the chat. We had a lot of like chatter about our different topics that we covered a lot tonight, so we'll be back next week for Yellow Jackets, and then next Wednesday for Survivor 44 episode 10.
Did we ever even say hi to the people in the chat?
Yes.
We did.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Hi again.
All right.
Bye.
Well, everybody have a good rest of your night. Take care. We'll see you when we see you. Bye-bye.